Hummingbirds are special. They're brilliant, tiny, precision-flying creatures that glitter like jewels in the sun and dazzle with their aerial acrobatics. They're glorious to watch, flying fast, stopping instantly, hovering and zipping up, down, or backwards with exquisite control. Hummingbirds live only in the Americas. They have a unique shoulder anatomy that enables them to beat their wings in a figure-8 pattern, creating lift on both up and down strokes. This skill, coupled with the ability to beat their wings more than 3,000 times per minute, is what enables their precision aerobatics. Some early European naturalists, on encountering hummingbirds for the first time, wondered if they were a cross between a bird and an insect. More than a dozen species of hummingbirds regularly summer in the United States. Canada is home to 5 species, while Mexico has about 60 species. All in all, there are more than 360 hummingbird species in the world. Their ability to hover for extended periods of time and even fly backwards makes them unique in the bird world. What they lack in size, they make up for with energy. The pinnacle of this being the ruby-throated hummingbird's incredible ability to flap up to 200 times per second during courtship displays. Though tiny, male hummingbirds are among the most flashy birds in the world, often sporting an array of iridescent feathers used to attract mates. Found from Alaska to the very tip of South America, from the rainforest to the hot, dry desert to the bone-chilling heights of the Andes, there are very few places where these adaptable birds can't survive. Here are 15 of the most spectacular hummingbirds in the world. Marvelous spatuletail. The remarkable racket-shaped appendages of male marvelous spatuletails are used in courtship displays and can even be moved independently. They are found only in a tiny region of northern Peru. Because of habitat loss and their small distribution, they're listed as endangered on the IUCN Red List. Red-tailed comet. Unmistakable and spectacular hummingbird of the high Andes and outlying mountains from near the Peru-Bolivia border south to central Argentina. The male's green-gold back that fades to a long, shimmering red tail is distinctive even from distance. The female also has a unique elongated red tail. This species generally occurs in arid or open habitats, to and above tree line, and tends to be most abundant near flowering cardan cacti and tree tobacco. Ruby-throated hummingbirds. This bird can fly across the Gulf of Mexico in a single flight. To fuel up, they feast on nectar and insects and double their body mass, going from 3 grams to 6 grams. Often thought of as the eastern hummer, ruby throats breed as far west as Alberta, Canada. Black-chinned hummingbirds. This bird are among the most adaptable of all North American hummingbirds, found in deserts, mountain forests, urban parks, and natural areas. They don't have to suck up nectar when they feed. The sweet liquid moves by capillary action along grooves in the tongue. Anna's hummingbirds dazzle with iridescent emerald and rose pink, described by one early biologist as the bright sparkle of a red cap of the richest amethyst. Their habitat along the west coast of North America is one of the few places in the world you can see a hummingbird in a eucalyptus tree. Ecuadorian hill star, found at elevations upwards of 5,200 meters or 17,000 feet in the northern Andes, this species' ability to withstand freezing temperatures and thin air is impressive to say the least. They feed nearly exclusively on the orange flowers of chukiraga plants that grow on the slopes of volcanic peaks. Rufous-crested coquette tiny hummingbird. Male is striking with fabulous spiky orange crest, each feather tipped in black. Otherwise greenish with dark throat and conspicuous white band across rump. Female much less obvious. Look for very small size, rufous forehead and throat, and white band across rump. Range usually helps to eliminate other similar species of coquette. Note especially similarity to spangled coquette. Rainbow-bearded thornbill short-billed hummingbird of the high Andes. Male has a narrow multicolored throat patch that can appear dark until it catches the light just right and explodes into glittering iridescence. Throat patch is reduced or lacking in female and immature. Both sexes have a rufous crown and broad white tips to the tail. Inhabits elfin forest and scrub near tree line from central Colombia south to extreme northern Peru. Costa's hummingbirds. Costa hummingbirds zip among saguaro and ocotillo in the parched landscape of the Sonoran and Mojave deserts. Males flash a brilliant royal purple throat patch that juts off the sides of their neck like little wings. Buff-bellied hummingbirds. This bird have bright red bills, coppery tails, and a throat that flashes brilliant blue-green. They occur along the Gulf Coast of Mexico, barely reaching into South Texas and sometimes stretching northward in winter along the U.S. Gulf Coast. Allen's hummingbirds. Allen are look-alike cousins to the rufous hummingbird, with an affinity for the fragrant coastal scrub and chaparral of California and Oregon. Males fly elaborate courtship displays, though as with most hummingbird species, the males don't help raise the young. Broad-tailed hummingbirds. This bird are some of the noisiest of all hummingbirds thanks to a loud metallic trill males produce with their wings. Look for them in high mountain meadows of western North America. Calliope hummingbirds. Calliope are the smallest bird in the US and Canada, yet they migrate more than 2,000 miles each way from chilly northwestern mountains to pine oak forests of Mexico. Rufous hummingbirds. Rufous are small, feisty, and not shy about chasing off larger hummingbirds. They breed the farthest north of any hummingbird, yet their 4,000-mile migration to Mexico is possibly the longest migration relative to body size of any bird. Snowcap. Its tiny size and unique coloration make the snowcap a very sought-after hummingbird species. Found from Honduras to Panama, this primarily canopy-dwelling species is often quite tough to see, unless you find its favorite patch of flowers.